Welcome back, everybody, to week 4 of the NFL. Uh, did pretty good on picks for myself, but also Justin. He is knocking it out of the ballpark. We do have him today, and here he is. I mean, he's the guru right now, the NFL guru. And I can't wait to hear what he has to say about Derrick Henry's temper tantrum. What's up,
You
Justin?
know,
How are you? What
I
What
hey
do you think
man,
of it?
I saw I don't have you seen the memes?
I have not seen any of the memes, but boy, I saw I was laughing whenever you told me about it, because I did not
They're
watch the game. I was laughing so hard when I saw the playback of it.
they are some of the funniest things to me right now. I even though Derek isn't with the Titans anymore, I still root for him. However, I do not want a Super Bowl for Derek. I know I predicted that the Ravens will make it there,
Yeah, you did.
but whoever they're playing, I can't see that would hurt. But yes, Derek is in a bad place right now, and we'll talk about that, I'm sure, as we
Oh yeah,
go into the pick.
and before we get started here, so last week both of us went 4-1 on the predictions, which is fantastic. Which right now you are 9-1 through the first 2 weeks that we have done this. Me not so good. I'm 6-4. But you watch a lot more NFL than I did before this year. I have kept up, watched highlights upon highlights here. But before we get started and doing our predictions, we got to talk about the game that you said this is what the Super Bowl is going to be, and that is the Detroit Lions versus the Ravens. My big takeaway from it, even though the Ravens lost, and Lamar Jackson just he's so good. Like I said, this year is the first year in a while. Like I kept up with things for the NFL, but not as much as I am this year. And man, Lamar Jackson is a good throwing quarterback. I always remember him as this runner, when he first came into the league, he was good at running, but man, he was throwing a lot of good passes against the Lions.
Well, his play style, and you're right, like he has gotten so much better over time with throwing the football. He was a running quarterback when he came into the league, and he actually, that kind of became his thing. People were always kind of dismissing Lamar as a top elite quarterback. Well, he can just do what we've seen Michael Vick do over the years, or Cam Newton, and he has already surpassed them.
Mhm.
Um, but of course, he will always be judged until he gets there, till he gets to the Super Bowl. Cam Newton made it to the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
He lost.
Yeah.
And I recently saw, Cam did a lot for Carolina altogether. I think Cam is, I know Jake Delhomme took Carolina to the Super Bowl, but Cam Newton was the identity of Carolina there for years, and I believe he spoke out recently. He's on ESPN now,
Yeah.
saying like they don't even pay like any kind of there's nothing of him up in the stadium. There's nothing, and it's
Really?
just kind of heartbreaking, man. I loved Cam, but and I think the Ravens fans, I think they love Lamar. Got to find a way to protect him better because he was, I believe he was sacked quite a bit in that Monday night game. But yeah, I still believe this is going to be the Super Bowl matchup. Now, could it have a different outcome? Of course it could. But these teams, man, what a great Monday night game. And man, I'll tell you, the Lions really shocked me. That defense, they stepped up third quarter on, finishing
Mhm.
out that game. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the lines looked really good. One thing, couple players that stood out to me, especially on that defensive side, that defensive line, Muhammad and Hutchinson, and
Hutchinson,
even
man.
who else was it? There was one other guy, and I can't remember. I'm looking at the team here, but man, Hutchinson and Muhammad, dude, they put so much pressure on Lamar. I mean, Muhammad ended up with 2.5 sacks and 2 tackles for a loss. I mean, they stepped up and played very well. I was very happy with the way Detroit's defense played, especially in the second half, because Yeah, I mean, it's Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry and them, and to play like they
It's hard to
did,
stop.
yeah, like, yeah, putting up 30 points is a lot of points, and it makes you think that the defense wasn't that great, but like I said, they did what they had to down the stretch.
Mhm. Yeah, they did, and I think, the Lions lost Hutchinson last year to an injury,
Mhm.
that ended his season, and man, here he is just he was the one that punched that ball out too from Derrick Henry,
Yep, from behind.
late in the or mid 4th quarter, I believe it was, but man, he is electric.
He is, and Jared Goff only had 1 touchdown, in the game, but whenever you don't need to do it to win the game, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need it. He did pass for 202, but Montgomery, I also have to talk about Montgomery, the running
Oh,
back for the
man.
Lions, dude. He had a great game. Uh,
Yep.
12 carries, 2 touchdowns on 151 yards. I think that that's a good game for a team that passes. You know what I mean? Jared Goff is a passing quarterback, and when he's in your squad, I don't feel like you focus on the run, but they kind of did because he was on fire. Um, but let's talk about Derrick Henry real quick with
Okay.
with the memes and stuff. What were we seeing? I
So,
mean, it
like
was pretty funny. So we're talking about, if you haven't seen it yet, I'll try to put it in the video. Hopefully, it won't get me copyright or anything. But Derrick Henry gets mad after he fumbled the ball and goes to slam his helmet onto the helmet holder on the back of benches. And when he does it, he slips and then like slips and falls onto the the bench there. And it is quite funny. It really is funny. And Justin has said there's been a bunch of memes. What's some of the funniest ones there?
one of them was like when you go to sit down on the toilet seat and the seat's loose, and like man, I literally busted out laughing. I know we use laugh out loud a lot, like when we text, and everybody uses it as just a thing to do,
Mhm.
but I literally laughed out loud when I saw that. And Derek, he is it's not anything new for Derek to be animated on the sideline. I remember
Mhm.
going to a Titans game years ago. It was a home opener, and man, the offense was just atrocious. Couldn't get anything going, and he is down there on the sideline. Like I can see him, and he is just ripping into his offensive line. And man, the next series they went out, it was Derek's animated.
Yeah.
He's gonna and you can see his frustration. Derek's not one of these guys that just comes in and collects his paycheck. I mean, sure, his check is
Yeah.
nice, but he also wants to win.
Yeah.
Like he legit wants to win these games.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he got a meme made out of him this
Yeah.
week.
And that sucks. And I like Derrick Henry. What one of the probably the best running back so far in our lives, I would say.
Oh
From
yeah,
what
I
we
mean he's
saw,
up.
we saw people like, speaking of the Titans, we did see Henry, not Henry,
Chris Johnson.
Johnson, there we go, Chris Johnson. Him play and what he did as a running back for the Titans and breaking records, like, you know, but Derrick Henry's just on another level, and hopefully he gets it together with all these turnovers, because I mean he had one last week, and then one or two the week before, didn't he? Or
I
was it
think I think I think he's just had a fumble in every game
every
this
game?
year.
Yeah,
So
it's not
yeah,
good. It's not good.
no, not good at all.
All right, so let's go ahead and let's jump into our first game that we're going to predict here. And it's an early start for the East Coast. It is the Minnesota Vikings versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's an early game because it is in Dublin, Ireland. What we got here is Minnesota. They are 2-1 on the season, coming off of a win against Cincinnati Bengals. The Steelers are coming off of a win on the road against the New England Patriots. Almost said the New England Revs. That's soccer. Um, but yeah, coming off of a win on the road against the Pats. What do you have to say in this one? Right now, it's pointing. A lot of people are saying the Vikings on the road. Well, I guess both
So
are on the road.
oh yeah, technically,
Yeah,
right?
technically, yeah.
Yeah. Um, and listen, I've heard that that's pretty challenging for these NFL teams.
Mhm.
like to make this trip and try to get into your rhythm because it throws you off. Now we knew Cincinnati would struggle on offense with Burrow. The offense did struggle. Their entire team though imploded.
Yes, they did.
But but
They
but
did.
Cincinnati, like they have such talent on all sides of the ball. But I think that speaks for what Minnesota did.
Hmm.
Like they dominant defense, dude, scoring 2 touchdowns, 5 turnovers.
Yes.
Carson Wentz stepped in for JJ McCarthy, and they got the job done. Now, Pittsburgh, they're still struggling.
Hmm.
They did find a way to beat New England, but it also seemed as if they were looking for a way to lose too.
Yeah.
So they almost lost that game. But in this matchup, give me Minnesota.
Oh, you're taking Minnesota right up. So
Yeah.
for me, I mean you're pretty much hitting on everything that I was hitting on. Minnesota just looked very dominant, and against the Bengals, like you said, Wentz came in, stepped in, had no problem filling in for McCarthy. But we know that Wentz is a good quarterback. I think that Wentz has always been a good quarterback, just bad situations most of the time, I feel like. But steps in, just a good overall team victory, team play for the Vikings. And their defense was the one that really surprised me in that game. They played very well. And then like the Steelers also they forced 5 turnovers, either 4 or 5. I think it was 5. Um, let me look real quick just to make sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Well, while you're
they.
saying that, I'll oh, no, go ahead. I didn't think you'd have it that quick.
Oh yeah, I do
You're
have it.
you're quick, you're quick. Okay.
They had 5 turnovers. The Steelers did. They
Wow.
and Rodgers and company could not score. They forced
Yeah.
5 turnovers and only 21. And I think Rodgers came out and talked about that. He said, "Look, we had that many turnovers. We need to, capitalize on those chances." And that's terrible. And also on top of that, their defense, if their defense allowed 389 yards or 69 yards, 369 yards. It's not good. It's not bad, but it's not good. Like allowing that many yards, you're lucky that you didn't lose. And if the defense is going to play like that, as in allowing yards, the Vikings are going to run all over them. And I'm with you. I'm picking the Vikings to win this one there in Dublin, even though the time difference is greater for the Vikings. So it might be a little bit harder, but I think it's two or I think Minnesota is 2 hours behind what Pittsburgh is. So traveling to Dublin like that, and from Pittsburgh, because we're in that time zone, Pittsburgh to Ireland, that is a 5 hour difference. So
Yeah.
you're looking at a 7 hour difference for the Vikings. So we'll see if that plays a role in it. I feel like it does. It probably didn't so much for the Brazil game because those time zones are the same time zones that these guys go in. But going, you know, overseas to Europe, that's a different story. So we'll see. But I'm going to have to go with Minnesota also in this one.
See, Pittsburgh, I want to pick Pittsburgh so badly,
Hmm.
because I really think, they do sit in one of the toughest divisions in the league. And with Joe Burrow leaving or coming out of, Cincinnati there, uh, the Ravens are such a great team, but man, they are finding it so hard to close out
Hmm.
games. Pittsburgh really needs to get, if they can get things figured out, they can try to get a lead in this division, and they have the talent for it. But I don't know what the issue is. I mean, Rodgers seems to be he's doing better than what he did with New York, but I don't know, man. They just can't get things figured out there. And you mentioned Wentz and how he's a good quarterback, and really, if you go back to the Eagles' very first Super Bowl win, I believe it was in 2018. Um, he ended up getting hurt, and it was Nick Foles that finished that out. But like it was Carson Wentz that got the team
There.
in that
Hmm.
position. He got them to the playoffs. A great regular season until he got hurt. I can't remember how far into the season it was that he got hurt. But man, he just like Mariota this past week, he come out and he had a great
Big
game.
game.
These guys, there are backup quarterbacks in this league that could still be starters.
Yeah, I
And
agree with
and
that.
and I think we're seeing that already. And Cincinnati, I said Jameis Winston, but man, there's some guys out there that they could go and get, and
Yeah.
we're seeing them on display already.
Yep.
But I'm gonna go Minnesota. You want my prediction
Yeah,
right now?
let's hear it. Let's see what your score prediction is.
This is going to be a very close game. But once again, I think Pittsburgh, they're still struggling, and I think they find a way to lose this game. So I'm going Minnesota 21, Pittsburgh 20.
Okay, okay. 21-20, that close, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So right now on the sports books, it is only a 2.5 spread. So sports books are also thinking this is going to be a close one. I am too. I think that it's going to be a close one. I'm going to go with Minnesota 27-21 over
Okay.
the Steelers in this one. So moving on to our next game. This is a good one too. Both teams undefeated. Philadelphia Eagles versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Philadelphia Eagles are coming off of a victory against the Rams 33-26, and then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are coming off of a win against the Jets 29-27. So that was a pretty close one.
Mhm.
Let's hear your thoughts on this one so far.
So the Bucks, I think we've talked in the past couple videos that we've done. I think they're a dark horse, and the Bucks in back-to-back weeks they've come in clutch, winning both of their games at the end.
Mhm,
Now, if I'm a Bucks fan, I'm happy, but I'm worried also with how much longer we can keep this going.
mhm.
And Philadelphia also a nail biter against the Rams. Dude, they were down. I think it was 26-7 at one point. They came back. This is one of those games that's just up there. It could go either
Yep.
way, and I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna have to go with the safe choice here. And I think I'm gonna take the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles here.
Oh, okay, okay. So for me, I love what Baker Mayfield's doing. I will say,
Yeah.
I will be the first one to tell you, I did not like Baker when he was in college. Did not care
Mm-mm.
for him. But I love that he like I'm not saying that I love that he failed at first, but like he failed, and then I love that he has gotten this second chance and he is performing very well. I mean, 6 touchdowns on the year, 61 for 99 with 615 yards so far this season. I love those numbers for him, and I hope that he keeps it up. I hope that they make the playoffs and everything. Yes, like you said, though, they're getting, they're just sneaking by with these wins, and it's not against the greatest opponents either, in my opinion. First week at Atlanta, so winning on the road is always a plus, but only winning by 3. Then going to Houston and only winning by 1. And then you play the Jets at home and only win by 2. Very, very scary on that. But then if you look at the Eagles, this has been their first 3 games. Okay. And they have won all 3 of them. Dallas, they opened up with Dallas at home. I think Dallas is a good team, but they're going to struggle this year too. I feel like I like Dak. I think that Dak is performing pretty well. I just think it's everyone else for the Cowboys. So Cowboys pretty good team. Then they play on the road against the Chiefs, and that's a revenge game for the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Like, but then they win. And then I think the Rams are also going to be one of the better teams this year in the NFL, and they get the job done against them. I like what Jalen Hurts are doing. The Eagles are just a really good all around team. But the sports books in this one are also saying this is a close one, and they're giving the Bucs the 3.5. They're at home. But like you, I have to go with the defending champs. I think the Eagles are going to go on the road. I think the Bucs, if they, because they keep playing from behind, you get behind against the Eagles, you ain't coming back. You just, it's just not happening. So you got anything else to say about this game?
No, I'll give you my prediction here. I still think it'll be pretty well. Not it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout over Tampa, but I'm going to go 21-13 Eagles.
Okay, that I actually like that prediction. I'm gonna go. I think the Eagles. I think the Eagles will score 24, and
Mhm.
I think that because I mean the Bucks are also averaging. They're averaging over 20 points a game. They're averaging about 23. I think it's going to be close, but I'll say Eagles 24-18. I know that that's a weird one,
Okay.
but I'm going to go 24-18 for the Eagles to win this one on the road. Now, this takes us into our first afternoon game, and that is the Ravens versus the Chiefs. Both teams are 1-2 on the season, which I think are probably two of the best teams that are 1-2 at this point. The Ravens coming off of a loss against the Detroit Lions, which was a fantastic game. And then the Chiefs are coming off their first win against the Giants on the road, 22-19. What do you got to say?
So that Chiefs and Giants game was a very ugly Sunday night football game.
Yeah, it was not great.
Um, no, and this to me doesn't feel like the Chiefs we know. Um, Baltimore, as we had talked earlier, they let another game slip away.
Mm-hmm.
They should have beaten the Bills there in that first week, and some would argue they should have beat Detroit in this game. It's a great game, but I see, as we mentioned, Derrick Henry in this meme. I see him getting ticked off on the sidelines. I see him disappointed in himself in the locker room interviews, being made into this meme. I think Kansas City pays the price for that meme,
Oh,
man.
you think so? So here, this is a question I have written down in my notes for you. Do you think that the Chiefs dynasty is over? You think that they're done?
Um, Dynasty. Okay, so like,
Because right now we
do
can
we
say that
see?
they're a dynasty, even with them, because what they made
Oh,
it to
for
the
sure.
championship last year, right? The AFC championship last
Yes.
year. So,
Yep.
or no, did they didn't make it to the Super Bowl last year, did they?
Yeah, they lost
Why?
to the Eagles.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought that they
Yep.
did. So, like, it's still making it to the Super Bowl. So, do
Mhm.
you think that if they lose in the playoffs early, do you think the dynasty is over?
I don't think the dynasty's over, but I definitely think that they have a wound in it and they're bleeding out and they got to find the problem. You look at the Patriots dynasty, which is one we had to grow up watching
Hmm.
and we got sick of, but the Patriots didn't always make it to the Super Bowl.
Hmm.
They were always in the conversation.
Correct.
And usually when they went, I mean, their kryptonite, I guess, was the Giants. They could never get past the Giants when it came to Eli Manning
Yeah.
and Brady always still have this like fun banter between each other. But, you know, it still didn't take away just because they didn't get there did not mean they still weren't a dynasty.
Mhm.
Um, but they were always in the conversation. And I don't think the Chiefs are out of the conversation, but they've got problems and they've got to figure them out because, like I said, man, Kelsey ain't it. I don't know what's going on, man. I drafted him in my fantasy league and he is just failing me. I'm about ready to drop him. I'm sick of him. I'm tired of it. Um, but no, in all honesty, I think the Chiefs will still be in the conversation when we get there. They might not even win their division, man. They might be a wild card. The Chargers might take that division. Um,
And
but
I think they will.
nah, I still think they will because here's the thing. Let's say I am going Baltimore for this game. This is a you gotta win games to make the playoffs.
Hmm.
But this could be a game that we see in the playoffs.
Yes.
So let's say the Ravens win here. When it matters, though, are we going to see the Chiefs that we know?
Yeah.
So still an early season, but for now, I'm not sold on this Chiefs team right now. I got to go Baltimore.
All right. So yeah, I mean, with for me, the sports books are saying this is going to be a close one too, but still, given it's crazy to see that they're giving the home side the advantage here with the 2.5. But like the Chiefs beat the Giants, and it wasn't a great game. Like no one had a good game in there. You know, I you can't even say. Mahomes had a good game. Yeah, I guess you could. He threw for 224 with one touchdown, so I guess that's a good game. But man, I almost fell asleep during the highlight video of it because I didn't watch it live. I watched the highlights of it, the extended highlights, and I wanted to fall asleep with it. No, nothing exciting about this game. But Baltimore, on the other hand, I like you. I think that the Ravens, once they get it together and don't look like they should have beat the Bills, they could have beat the Lions. The Lions looked fantastic though, but they should have beat the Bills in week 1. That was just, I don't even know what you call that. That just sloppy. But I think the Ravens are going to be really good this year, and this could be a statement game for both teams for this like playoff push because both of these teams need to get back to their winning ways. And if the Chiefs lose this is going to be their second home game in a row, like that they've lost another home game. But I'm with you, just the way that Lamar's playing on another level. 9 touchdowns, no interceptions, 722 yards on the season. And I agree with you. I think that with Henry getting this meme, getting fumbles, a fumble in each of his games this season, I think we're like, I think we could see a very angry Derrick Henry, and I could see him. I will say right now, we'll see him with over 100 yards in this game easily.
Yeah, I think it's time, man. I
Hmm.
think it's time. Every week it's just boiling and boiling till eventually I believe at this point now it's boiled over. He is frustrated. He's
Hmm.
mad at himself. He doesn't blame anybody but himself. He's always been like that, even when he played for Tennessee. And he just, I think the Chiefs, like I said, they're going to pay the price. They're going to be the ones, unfortunately, that pay the price for this.
And before we make our final predictions, yes, the Chiefs defense played pretty good against the Giants, but again, we're talking about the Giants. I don't feel like the Giants are that great of a team, but they allowed 27 uh versus the Chargers and 20 versus the Eagles, which you could say because both of those teams are very good, that was pretty decent, but I just the Ravens are letting a lot up too, but I don't think that they're going to stop Henry, and I'm going to have to go with the Ravens winning this one, and I think that the Ravens will win it. I'm going to say 34. I'll say 34-24 for the Ravens on the road.
Okay, you're pretty close to my pick as well. We just got a 3 point difference. I'm going Baltimore 31, Chiefs 24.
Okay, hey, I mean I wouldn't mind seeing that many points, but I could also see this one being a little bit low scoring.
It could, yeah,
Just because it's there, like that's the thing. You can never count the Chiefs out there at Arrowhead, even against
yeah.
good teams like the Ravens. But I got to stick with the Ravens. I really enjoy watching Lamar play right now, and
They're fun. They
yeah,
are.
yeah, he's great to watch. He gets out of the pocket. Just some of the throws and the pinpoint throws that he made against the lines. I mean, who did he throw it to? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. He threw it to someone on the sideline, and literally the guy just stopped at the sideline, reached over the line, and just had to catch it. And like, I think Lamar was on the run and everything, and it was just, it was a great, it was just a great catch. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, just a great throw. I think it might have been Bateman that
Hmm.
was there, but I like the Ravens right now, and so I'm going to stick with them. Now, taking us to our Sunday night game, we have the Packers versus the Cowboys. The Packers are 2-1 so far on the season. The Cowboys 1-2. The Packers are coming off of a loss to the freaking Cleveland Browns, and the Dallas Cowboys are coming off of a loss on the road at the Bears. Also, the Packers were on the road in Cleveland. Before we talk about them, I don't think we're talking about the Bears at all in this video. We're not. I just have to give a shout out to the Bears. I Williams played a phenomenal game against Dallas, and actually that whole team did. Watching that back, I was very surprised by the Bills. Not the Bills, the Bears. And like I
Mhm.
said, Williams might be someone we got to keep an eye on for the year. But anyway, back to this game: Packers versus the Cowboys. How you feeling?
Yeah, like Green Bay losing to Cleveland. Uh, y- Heck, even Dallas losing to Chicago. I know a lot of bettors probably lost some money
Hmm.
last week.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody saw that coming. Yeah, they're both shockers. I still think Green Bay is legit. The loss to Chicago to me has to be a fluke. Um, in a tight matchup, I'm I'm gonna go Green Bay.
Okay.
I so badly want to say Dallas, but for me, the trust isn't there. Uh, as you mentioned, Dak Prescott earlier in the show. I also like Dak and Dallas. Very, I would, man, this is going to tick some Pittsburgh people off.
Oh,
I would,
jeez.
I would compare Pittsburgh and Dallas right now. They have talent, but for whatever reason,
Can't get it
they
together.
can't get it. Something's wrong. Like something's not meshing. And I'm not even sure Dallas fans think they win this one. I don't know, but for me, I'm going Green Bay.
Okay. I like Green Bay in this one too. I will say right off the top, I'm picking Green Bay. The Cowboys had too many turnovers against the Bears. They had multiple turnovers. Even though Dak played a good game, I think he did have one. No, he had two interceptions. They actually ended up pulling him at the end of the game. And I have to give a shout out to Milton. They put Milton in, the backup quarterback. So I don't know if Prescott got injured or if they were just throwing their hands up that they got beat. But Milton came out and I think he went 3 for 5. But man, he was throwing some rockets, and I loved it. So I will say that I'm just throwing. I loved it. He was, man. He was thrown off of thrown on the run and stuff. Looked good. But yeah, I just don't think just Dallas. Dallas is one of those teams. They have good players. It's just they can't get it all together. I think, like you said, was it just is Cleveland's defense that good to shut down Love and company for the Packers to make it that low scoring of a game? Or was it just an off game? Was it one of those situations that they went, "Oh yeah, we just have to show up in Cleveland, we're going to get a win." Cuz good teams do that. Like you go in, it's like, "Oh yeah, we should kill this team." And then they come out and shock you. Cuz they I think Cleveland came back, didn't they? I mean, it was pretty much all field goals except for, well, the Packers did have a touchdown. Uh,
Yeah.
but it feels like it was all field. No, both teams had a touchdown at one point. But yeah, like the Browns scored all of their points, not four, all of their points in the fourth quarter. So Packers had it, and the Packers, if I'm remembering correctly, Packers had multiple chances to put the game away. And they also had a feel like they were going to go up 13-10, and they had a field goal blocked right at the end. So I don't know what was going on with the Packers there. I think, like you, though, I think they're a legit team. They're not going to let two bad games happen in a row. That defense, I think the Packers defense might be one of the best in the league, maybe the best. And with that, I'm going to have to go with the Packers also. And also, again, the sports books giving the home team the points at 6.5, though. So they're thinking that the Packers are going to score and beat these guys pretty handedly. What is your score predictions for this one?
I believe we see a 17-17 game all the way down to the final seconds, and the Packers kick the game-winning field goal to win 20-17.
Oh, I like that. I like how specific, they score right at the end to win it. I am
Yep.
going to go 24-20 Packers. I think it is going to be close. I think that this is a good game. I think that the Cowboys could give them a good game unless they play like they did against the Bears. Then it's going to be a Packers runaway, I think. But I think I'm going to go with a closer score. I think that Dallas have something to prove, but the Packers are just better than the Cowboys. So we do have two Monday night games this week, and one of them, NFL, what are you doing? What are you doing? The first one we have 7 p.m., 7:15 p.m. kickoff. we have the New York Jets versus my crappy Miami Dolphins. Both teams are 0-3 on the season. Jets are coming off of a loss against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Dolphins are coming off of a loss on the road against the Buffalo Bills. Justin, do you have anything good to say about either one of these sides?
Um, well, you did. You're like, NFL, what are you doing? Okay. And listen, like, no hate to the Dolphins or the Jets, but even before we knew, like, we didn't know that these teams would both
Yeah,
be
yeah.
in this position. But like, even when like whoever's making this schedule or putting this schedule together, who thinks that this is a Monday night matchup? Like, I know they're division rivals,
Mm-hmm.
but like, who thinks that this would be a good game? Like, just to put on a Monday night football, like,
Well, and
and
even
it's the same with the Chiefs and the Giants for Sunday night football.
yeah, why?
Like, I could have told you that like 6 months ago that that probably wasn't going to be a good game for a Sunday night game.
Yeah, and neither one of I mean, both of these teams were bad last year, and neither one of them made any significant changes of their teams. So yeah, whoever made this schedule, why would you put this as a Monday night game? Now, watch them go out and this be like the best Monday night game ever in history. I highly doubt it though.
Miami hung with Buffalo. Okay,
I
they
agree.
did.
Yep.
And you and I were messaging through that, and we're just like, wow, like we did not expect this.
Mm-mm.
So it is possible. It could be a really good game. We could be you know, really shocked when we go to talk about this or whatever the next time. But New York also though, they hung with Tampa. I honestly though, I don't know here. Out of the games this week, this is the one I think I'm the most unsure about.
Okay.
Both teams are desperate for a win,
They are.
and I'm going to go out on a limb right here. I'm going to take Miami.
Oh, you're
Okay.
taking Miami. I
I, I, I don't know, man. I think Tua's got more weapons, uh, but he's got to get out of his own way.
mhm.
Um, and both teams, man, their defense, they got to step up. This could be a good game, and it could absolutely be one of the ugliest games of the season.
Yeah, like end up being like a 13-10 like the Packers and Browns. Here's what I have to say.
Okay.
You mentioned this about Dallas and the Steelers. They have good teams. They just need to get it together. That's the
Hmm.
Dolphins. The
Yeah.
Dolphins have so much talent. But I hate to say this, and Dolphins fans, you can come at me. I am a Dolphins fan also. I just don't think two is the answer anymore. He has 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the season with 575 yards. That's pretty up there. That one of the better ones in the league. But whenever you have people like Tyreek Hill on your team, and you either throw it to him, he's going to catch it, or if he's double teamed, it's probably leaving someone else open. And you still have Waddle. I mean, those are good receivers. Now, maybe we need a better running game to help to it. And I think that could be a thing. If Tua had a running game, Tua could be a better quarterback. I don't know if that makes any sense. It might make sense to nobody. It makes sense to me. I think if we had a running game to allow Tua to do play action, and I think I talked about this before. I think I talked about this in one of our videos. If he just had a run game where he could do play action, it would be better for him. But then you have the Jets. Taylor on the season, 3 touchdowns and an interception, but only 253 yards. And their top running back, Hall, only has 157. They're just not great, but they're putting up points. They scored 32 in the first game. They only scored 10 against Buffalo, but it is Buffalo, you know. And but that was at home. And then they put up 27 against the Buccaneers. The Dolphins didn't do crap against the Colts in week 1. Put up 27 against the Patriots. And like you said, maybe I'm looking at this as in the Dolphins are trending upwards because they played well against the Bills in
Hmm.
Buffalo. that was a good. They played fairly well until the end. I think it was at the end when they pulled away. Yeah, in the second half is when the Bills pulled away. Dolphins tried to get into it in the fourth quarter.
I think it was a Tua interception
That
that that caused that momentum shift, and they just couldn't catch back.
back up,
They couldn't get it going after that. Yeah.
and I think you're right. Uh, but you know what? I'm going to go with you. I think
Okay.
the Dolphins. Yes, I'm picking the Dolphins right here. The Dolphins are going to win this game at home. They're at Hard Rock Stadium. I think that even though it was a loss, you have to find light in something. And I thought that the performance against the Bills was in the right direction. And I think the Dolphins are going to win this one. They need a spark. The Jets are the Jets doing the Jets things. They're just not that great. But I'm going with the Dolphins, and I think that they win this game 21-14.
Okay. Did you get to see by chance what the Dolphins are going to wear Monday night?
No, are they wearing? Oh, are they wearing those black? Is it black?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And
I do like
the numbers are
those.
like outlined with the orange, and
Mhm.
yeah, man, it looks good.
It
It
looks
looks
sick.
good.
So I mean
Um,
that just look good, feel good,
yes,
play
that's
good.
it. Play
Let's
good. There
go.
it is. But I also, yeah, I'm gonna go Dolphins here. I'm gonna go a little closer though. I'm gonna say Dolphins 23, Jets 21.
Oh, a 2-point game. I'll take it though. A win is a win. If it's
That's
one,
right.
if it's by 1 or 100. And for our final game that we're going over this week, the second Monday night game, that is the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Denver Broncos. Cincinnati 2-1 on the season, Broncos 1-2. The Bengals are coming off of a terrible, terrible loss against Minnesota Vikings 48-10 on the road, where the Broncos lose on the road to a very good Chargers team 23-20. How are you feeling about this game?
Um, this Man, this is another game I think is going to be an awful Monday night game.
Yeah.
Uh, I just, but this is my lock of the week. I think. Until Cincinnati gets a guy that's not going to throw 5 interceptions in 2 weeks, uh, they're not doing anything.
Mhm.
So the whole team is in a slump with Burrow missing from the lineup. Broncos defense, I believe, is going to have a field day with Browning if he's playing. Now, I did see something on social media that said there's a chance he might not play. I don't know how true that is, but
Okay.
regardless, Broncos are going to have a field day. But the Broncos could easily be undefeated right now by a
Yeah.
matter of 5 points. It has them 1-2, but
Yeah.
this week they'll have no problem.
No problem. So yes, they really should be 2-1, and it should only
Yeah.
be a 1 point, 3-point loss to the Chargers. I, we could go back and forth if they got screwed over there in Indianapolis against the Colts. That was a good
Yeah.
game. So that 1 point, that one field goal makes a big difference. But I'm gonna defend Browning here. Okay.
Don't you're going hold on.
Hold on.
Whoa.
Just listen.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
listen. Just listen. I'm defending Browning here, okay? I think Browning would be doing okay if the Cincinnati's Bengals offensive line wasn't so
Oh, well,
crap.
yeah. Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
agree there.
That is
Yeah.
the worst thing. You thought I was going to pick the Bengals. You thought I was going to pick
Well,
the Bengals in this.
I thought you were gonna tell me this guy's the next Patrick Mahomes or something.
No, no, not at all. But I'm saying this offensive line for the Bengals, no wonder why. Like, I can't believe that Joe Burrow hasn't been injured more. The man
Mhm.
is a tank because this line is so god awful. Like, I mean, it shows you in this the two games now that Browning, like, it solidifies our answer that offensive line is garbage.
Yeah.
Because yes, Browning has 5 interceptions, but a couple of them, I mean, the man is running for his life as soon as he hikes the ball. I mean, literally running for his life as soon as he hikes it. The only plays in I didn't watch their game, watch the highlights of their game
Mhm.
against Minnesota. But literally the only time that he had to throw was when they threw quick screen passes or like quick slant passes. That's the only time he had to throw. Anything else, he was scrambling for his life and, throwing off balance or throwing under pressure. And that's what causes the interceptions. Also, you got to give him a little bit of credit. He wasn't playing, it's been all Joe Burrow. So you know that Burrow's getting all the snaps in practice, all the, preseason snaps with the first team. So like there's still that learning curve and getting on the same page as your offense, but that line is awful. And until the Bengals do something to protect their quarterbacks, this team is not going to be good. I'm surprised that they have 2 wins already, but that's because Joe Burrow's good. Joe Burrow is
Yeah.
a good quarterback, and their defense is pretty good. I will say that their defense isn't bad, other than playing against Minnesota. But like I think you said at the beginning of the video, they literally imploded.
Yeah.
Like the whole team imploded. So
Yeah.
I am defending Browning a little bit because that line is awful. But I have to say, the Broncos are going to have no problem with this. They're at home. Browning and team just they're not going to cut it. And this I think me personally the Broncos defense is better than the Vikings defense. So there's no chance for them putting up points. And I think the Broncos win this pretty easily. Even though the Bengals are given 7.5 in the spread by the sports books, I think the Broncos could easily beat them by 2 touchdowns. I hate to say that, but I do, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with something close to that. I think that the Broncos win this. I'm gonna say 28-10.
Okay. I'm very close to that. You said that the offensive line, there's no time.
Mm-mm.
The Bengals, heck, their wide receivers. You got Jamar Chase,
Yeah,
phenomenal receiver. T. Higgins is good. Um, but these guys don't even have time to run their routes
no,
before their quarterback is being pressured to get the ball out. Uh, Defensively, they were able to keep Trey Hendrickson, and because there were some contract issues there. I believe he was wanting more money, and they figured something out for a year. Unfortunately for the Bengals, yeah, this is not going to be pretty. And I'm gonna go with the Broncos winning this 27-13.
okay. So not too close again. It's not
Mhm.
gonna be a close one. So that is it for our picks here. You have any? Are you excited for the Titans game this weekend? I'm sorry I have to ask you about it because you kind of went on a little bit of a rant after the
I,
Titans game last week, and I want the listeners to hear what you have to say
I I
about the
appreciate you
Titans.
giving me the platform to put it out there.
Yeah,
So I'm just not telling it to my wife that doesn't care.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm here to listen. I'm here to listen, and you know that the viewers are going to be here to listen about it.
Yeah. So Callahan still has a job. And like, dude, his clock management, lack of adjustments throughout the game, he's straight out like he's out coached every week.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if you heard or not. I might have said this to you already. I've talked about it all week. Uh, he's handed off the play calling to our quarterback coach.
You did mention this to me. I think yesterday we were talking about it a little bit.
So is he no longer the head coach? Like, is was this an ultimatum that was given to him? Like, hey, you if you want to stay here, like you can't be making the calls. I don't know what management is thinking, but it gets even worse.
Oh
Okay. It
no.
gets worse. Now, giving the play calling off to the quarterback, I don't believe this is going to fix anything. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Borrowed time. I've been saying it. So we go and we trade one of our defensive players, Brownlee. Okay. Now
Hmm.
we drafted him in the fifth round, I think it was, of the 2024 draft. Um, we just traded him yesterday. And now, depending on whenever you guys see this video, it's been a few days, but this trade had just happened, and yes, he has been struggling with penalties. He's got to get those cleaned up. But man, I really believe Brownlee was going to be pretty solid for this defense. We trade him away for a 6th round pick. Okay. Dude,
That's awful.
it's the end of September and you're already looking at draft capital?
Yeah.
Like, where is the mindset? There's a season right in front of you. The whole season is still there. I
Yep.
mean, I remember when the Titans in 2009 started off 0-6,
Mhm.
and then they won like 8 games in a row and just missed the playoffs. Like, it's still possible
Yeah.
to turn a team around, and you're thinking of a 6th round pick in September?
In September, a 6th round pick. That is a terrible trade. I did not hear about that, so I'm glad that we got to hear that, and they got my reaction live.
And
6th
and,
round pick.
like and we got screwed in that deal.
Yeah.
Not only did we trade him, but we also traded a draft pick. I can't remember what it was, but we lost him and a draft pick for a 6th round.
For one pick. That's all you guys
Yep,
got?
yep, yep.
Okay, who's making
And,
these deals for the Titans? They need to go also.
oh my gosh, man, it's so bad, and, um, I don't I mean, there's a few Titans fans that I am, I follow on social media, like through Twitter or whatever, well, X.
Mhm.
But yeah, and they're just we are so blown away by these calls. And then you've got the ones that are like, "Oh, I just love the Titans. I'm gonna support them, win or lose." And it's like, listen, I get it.
Yeah.
I've been a Titans fan for a long
You
time,
have, you
so
have.
I'm used to the disappointments. We've had some ups, we've had some downs, but man, after a while, like you just get tired, man. And it's like, um, half of my freaking wardrobe is Tennessee Titan stuff. I
It
have a
is.
hat for almost every day of the week, and it's like a perfect example. Speaking of hats, there's a new hat. It's the Intercept Cancer hat, the awareness hat they just came out with. Dude, I love the hat until I saw the price tag. And
It's
and I'm like, "Dude, it's $49
oh my
for a
gosh, for
hat."
a hat.
And and
I
and I'm like, "Uh, for how they're playing, I am not dropping
yeah,
$49 on this team, man."
can't do it.
Like, no, I can't. I mean, I'll wear them, of course I will. I mean, I freaking have a Titans tattoo on my calf. Like, I'm a fan for life, but it just oh,
It's
man, it's so
heartbreaking.
disappointing.
Yep.
It is. And, like, I sent you the video on Sunday, I believe it was, as the Titans are heading to the locker room for halftime. The fans are just booing
Booing.
the crap out of the head coach as he's walking through. And he's been asked all week about if he's worried about his position or anything like this, and he just keeps, "No, we're close to winning. We're close to it."
Close isn't good enough. You know what I
That's
mean?
right. It just and I am so worried, man. I think Cam Ward is going to be an absolute stud in this league, but man, he needs a good coach. And I've said it. I want it. I'm speaking it into existence. Gruden's got to get out of Barstool and he's got to come to Nashville.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've seen a couple other people on social media say that they would love to see Gruden back in Tennessee, like back in the league and at Tennessee.
just in the league in general, man. He just his stuff
He's
cracks
good.
me up.
Yep.
He's hilarious. Like he's one of those coaches too, like that just man, watching I can't remember what team he was with. It was a documentary though, and like it was I want to say it was when he went to Tampa, and he won a Super Bowl with him. They did a documentary on it, and just watching him, man,
Hmm.
he is what a coach. Like,
Yeah.
give me him right now,
Yeah.
speaking it out.
Speaking it
But
out,
I don't. We're playing the Texans this week.
on the
They
road.
are also 0-3.
Yep.
So another ugly game. It's funny how the Dolphins are also 0-3 playing an 0-3
Three
team,
team.
and
Yeah.
here's a Titans 0-3 playing.
And speaking of bar stools, I have to point it out there. Like it's so funny that Big Cat's thing, like straight ass cheeks,
For the
and it's the Dolphins and the Titans together, our two favorite teams. Uh, so that kind of sucks. But I am also looking here on ESPN. Cam Ward is questionable for this weekend.
oh, I did not hear that.
Um, it
God,
is
they're
saying
already
his
killing him, man.
it's his ankle.
Oh
It's
my
what they're saying.
god.
So hopefully it's nothing major, and hopefully he can get out there. But like you said, man, this six pick thing, it's the first three games, and you're 0-3. A lot of season left. You could go on a streak, like you said, and still make the playoffs.
And dude, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Last year, uh, we had Will Levis as our quarterback.
Mhm.
I think Will Levis can still be a legit quarterback in this league. Man, there were some games where he had really bright spots. I don't know if you remember or not. There was a Monday night, I think it was a Monday night game. The Titans and the Dolphins played each other a few years, 2 years ago, maybe, or
Yeah.
something like that. And the Titans were down like with literally just minutes to go, like almost two possessions, I believe it was two possessions to come back, and he won the game.
Mhm.
Miami was dancing on us, doing the remember the Titans dance on us, man. And then the Titans still somehow found a way. I believe Vrabel was still the coach then. Wasn't a good year, but there were a lot of bright spots for Levis. Since what's his face, Brian Callahan's come in and taken over, dude, Levis had his worst season last year. I mean, he was. We're talking about Derrick Henry being a meme, dude. He was a meme every week,
Every week, every week. I do
and
remember that.
I'm telling you, man, we gotta get Brian Callahan out of Nashville. We got this dude showing up every week, pretending to be a coach in the NFL, and it's gotta stop.
Uh, well, hopefully, I know that you want him out, but hopefully they can get the win here against Houston because Houston's pretty bad too.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting to the point where we're coming up on playing the Patriots here soon. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Mike Vrabel will outcoach this guy like that.
Yeah, and he will
And that
laugh
right
all the
there,
way. Yeah, yeah.
if
They
he's not fired before that game, I know Titans owner Amy, she he's gone if he loses to Vrabel.
or maybe
That
that.
was a very ugly breakup,
Hmm.
and and she won't have that. Just like the year that we traded AJ Brown, we went and played the Eagles that season. AJ Brown walked us.
Yeah.
I mean, all over
Hmm.
us. Hours after the game, I believe it was. I don't even think they waited till the next day. Our GM was gone.
Yeah,
He was gone.
and he
I mean, she was
and
she was
rightfully so.
embarrassed.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe hopefully that happens for you, so that she gets embarrassed and sends him on the way too.
Ugh.
But all right, man. Anything else for week 4?
I don't believe
Mhm.
so. We both for the second week in a row are on the same page.
I think for every
Uh,
game too. Yeah, we did
yeah.
not disagree on
Hopefully,
any of them, which
hopefully we have the same success
I hope so
as we
too.
did last week.
Especially for you. My goodness, 9-1 so far this season. Hopefully you keep it up. But
Yeah.
that is it. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to the Nerdy Sports channel, and we will see you for the next one.